My name is Mark Jordan, and I'm a district sales manager in Austin, Texas. Today, we will be covering merchandising of our Shrub program. Some things that we will cover today are terminology, planograms, scrap, and merchandising. Okay, guys, let's talk about our first topic, terminology. What is a planogram? A planogram is a specific guide based on each store's footprint. It not only addresses table placement, but product placement as well. So let's talk about different types of shrubs we have and their placement on the table. Branded shrubs. Branded shrubs are a premium price point that advertises a superior quality shrub. The branded shrubs we feature are Southern Living, First Edition, and Encore. Core shrubs. Core shrubs are always a lower price point and are considered a commodity item that is in high demand by landscapers and homeowners alike. Flowering shrubs. Flowering shrubs are seasonal items that provide blooms and add beauty to any landscape. Drive aisle. The drive aisle is the main walkway into the garden center when entering through the garden gate and is typically the widest aisle. Stadium effect. Stadium effect is a technique we use to provide maximum visibility to showcase items on the drive aisle. Metal sign holders. Metal sign holders hold the colorful inserts that tell the customer the light requirements for the items on the tables. Low to high. Low to high is a merchandising technique that allows us to achieve maximum product visibility. Mirroring. Mirroring is the same item but in the different size pots that are merchandised on the opposite side of the table to the best of our ability. Front and face. You often hear the term front and face. Fronting is pulling the pot to the front edge of the table. Facing is making sure labels are facing the customer. When both fronting and facing is executed, this is undeniably appealing to the customer. All right, everybody, let's discuss the actual shrub planograms. Typically, we have a 3, a 4, and a 5 table set. Let's start with a 3 table set. One common theme is the tropical shrub table is always closest to the store. Our roses and flowering shrub table is always farthest from the store. On this 3 table set, the middle table will be your core shrubs. The first 16 feet of this core table will always be branded shrubs, and the first 16 feet of the flowering table will be roses. Now let's take a look at a 4 table set. As with the 3 table set, the tropical shrub table is always closest to the store, and our roses flowering shrub table is always farthest from the store. The first 16 feet of the rose and flowering shrub table will always be roses. The next table over, the first 16 feet will be Encore, and then First Editions behind, with core shrubs balancing out the remainder of the table. Next table over will be Southern Living in the first 16 feet, with core shrubs behind. And then, of course, we end up with the tropical shrub table. And lastly, we have a 5 table set. Once again, the tropical shrub table is closest to the store, and the roses flowering shrub table is farthest from the store. The 5 table set also features 2 flowering shrub tables. On the first table, roses cover the first 16 feet with flowering shrubs behind. Our second table has Encore on the first 8 feet, First Edition on the second 8 feet, and flowering shrubs on the rest of the table. Third table has 16 feet of Southern Living and the rest core shrubs. And the fourth table is all core shrubs on the first 16 feet and the balance of the table. Okay, everybody, we're back out in the garden center and let's talk about scrap. I've got a couple of examples here. One of these plants is not saleable, which would be this one. It has an irregular plant body. It's got some burnt leaves on it, and it's just kind of scraggly and unappealing. Its partner here otherwise is good on the color. The plant is in spec, and I don't see any obvious reason to scrap this plant here at all, so this is a good one. Several other items to watch for are disease and insect infestations. Examples are aphid and scale, black spot, or powdery mildew. When you do a thorough scrap on the tables, it gives you a real good idea of the table space you have available for any new product that you need to merchandise. Lastly, the most important thing we need to do is record all of our scrap. Record the scrap immediately and enter it into RepConnect. Okay, here we are standing in the main drive aisle. This gives us a great opportunity to visualize the stadium effect. This effect is created by having the 1-gallon product in front, its matching 3-gallon on the opposite side of the table. This is done on both tables on either side of the main aisle. Okay, guys, although we're not on the main drive aisle right now, we can definitely see that the technique we used on the drive aisle is carried over to this aisle. We definitely had the stadium effect on this side, on this table here in effect. We have the 1-gallon material low, the matching 3-gallon material to the back high. This table is actually set up for maximum visibility by using the stadium effect. Also on display here, we have examples of facing and fronting. The pots are pulled to the front, the labels are faced out. We have the mirroring in effect, 1-gallon material matching 3-gallon material, 1-gallon matching 3-gallon, all through the length of the table. That will give us a short to tall on this axis, as well as short to tall on this axis here. The last thing I want to touch on is when merchandising these tables for this effect, we start with a 3-gallon material. The 3-gallon material will take precedence, start tall, go to short, and then match your 1-gallon to the 3-gallon. Okay, let's talk very briefly about how we face and front branded product, because it is a little bit different. All of these branded pots that we sell have a brand on them that we pay a little bit extra for. So we want to make sure we get our money's worth out of this. The direction is all the brands will be faced out towards the customer, not the price tag or the UPC label, but the brand itself. Ideally, also, any care tag on the pot needs to be facing out to the customer. Not only the ones attached by strings, but if there are any staked care tags in there, they need to face outward to the customer also. And lastly, of course, always pull the pot to the front edge of the table. Okay, not only is this a beautiful example of merchandising on this table here, it is also very well stocked with our best-selling core shrub items. At the front there, we've got the dwarf Yaupon hollies, followed by the Japanese boxwood, dwarf Buford hollies, red tip photinias, and our ligustrums. We want to make sure that we always have these items in stock during the course of the year. Okay, let's visit some of our top-selling flowering shrubs. Here we have the Laura petalum, Indian hawthorn, oleanders, and gardenias. In closing, let's make sure we have eye-catching end caps, our best 8 feet forward, and our tables merchandised daily. Thank you for joining us. Happy merchandising.